Hannah, and this is Firm Foundations. Thanks for watching. In this series, we're learning to discern the truth about LDS history and doctrine. In our last video, we learned about Oliver Cowdery, one of the three witnesses of the Book of Mormon. This episode will dive into the life of Martin Harris, another of the three witnesses. Martin Harris was a farmer and served in the militia during the War of 1812. Martin's neighbors referred to him as an honest but superstitious man. By the time Martin met Joseph Smith, he had already joined and left several churches, seeking answers to life's existential questions. After hiring Joseph Smith Sr. to construct a cistern, Martin Harris also met Joseph Smith Jr. Martin was impressed by Joseph's abilities as a seer after Joseph used a seer stone to locate lost items for Martin. Martin began to help with the translation of the gold plates. After the first 116 pages were completed, he pestered Joseph to allow him to show the pages to his wife, but the pages went missing under Martin's care. The work of translating was temporarily halted by this blow, and when Joseph resumed translating, he mainly used other scribes, especially Oliver Cowdery. Martin also sought to have the translation of the plates authenticated. At one point, Joseph wrote down characters in their translation on a piece of paper, and Martin took that transcription to Charles Antin, a professor of linguistics at Columbia. According to Martin, Professor Antin authenticated the translation as correct to the best of his knowledge and provided a written statement validating the translation. But when Martin explained the origin of the characters in translation, Professor Antin took the authentication certificate back and ripped it up. Professor Antin also wrote about this interaction, stating that he told Martin that he was a victim of fraud. Martin financed the publishing of the Book of Mormon by mortgaging his family farm. Martin and his wife Lucy Harris dealt with a great deal of marital conflict during this time. Lucy was concerned about their finances and Martin's association with Joseph Smith. Lucy also claimed that Martin abused her and had an affair with a neighbor, but these claims have never been substantiated. Joseph invited Martin to be one of the three witnesses of the Book of Mormon. Martin, Oliver, and David gathered with Joseph Smith one day in the woods near Joseph's house and prayed for a witness of the Book of Mormon. After a while of nothing happening, Martin said he was the reason the group was not receiving the revelation and left. After that, Joseph, Oliver, and David testify witnessing a vision of an angel named Moroni, appearing to them with gold plates and testifying of their truth and origin. After the vision, the three men returned to the house, but Joseph stopped when he came upon Martin, still praying in the woods. Joseph and Martin prayed together and received a similar vision again. Several years later, Martin was part of the group of saints who gathered in Kirtland. Weary of the financial devastation, Martin was suspicious of the Kirtland Safety Society Bank and called it a fraud. Martin was part of a group of dissenters who left Joseph's church and formed their own church, the Church of Christ. He left the Church of Christ in 1849 because the Church of Christ rejected the Book of Mormon, and Martin refused to refute his testimony. He continued to shift his loyalties between various leaders of reformations of the LDS Church over many years. During this time, other former LDS Church members claimed that Martin retracted his witness of the Book of Mormon. This caused some members, including apostles, to leave the church. However, no first-hand accounts back this claim, suggesting it could have been a rumor or a miscommunication of Martin's statement that he, quote, never saw the plates with his natural eyes, only in vision or imagination, unquote. At age of 87, Martin decided to return to the LDS faith, then led by Brigham Young. He immigrated to present-day Utah, where he was rebaptized. Martin died 3 years later at the age of 91. Throughout his life, Martin is frequently quoted and often wrote himself about his testimony of the Book of Mormon and his vision of the angel Moroni. Overall, Martin Harris is a fascinating man. What interests me about his life story is that he was constantly seeking answers and explanations to what he felt, saw, and believed to be true. Martin was willing to risk everything, his retirement, home, and marriage, to do what he believed was right. Living such a bold life is never easy or mistake-free, but this is a perspective that is truly admirable. Thank you for joining us today. Firm Foundations is created by me, Hannah. We are produced and funded by the More Good Foundation, with special thanks in this episode to Rachel Grant. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.